Okay, magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. It is 6:42 in the morning dito sa Pilipinas, no? Hello po sa mga OFWs natin diyan, no? At sa lahat na rin ng mga nanonood dito sa Luzon, Visayas at Mindanao. Hello sa inyo. Good morning sa inyo, okay? So ito, matagal-tagal rin tayong hindi nakapagbati sa ating mga audience dito sa Donmar TV. At ako po ay maagang gumising ngayong araw na ito. It's June 7, 2025. Ayan. Ang daming mga mga moderators ko dito sa Donmar TV na nami-miss ko actually. Kasi na-miss kong mag-live eh. Kaso may problema pa kasi sa internet connection namin dito sa lugar namin, no? Kaya hindi ako nakapag-live. So heto na nga, no? Pag-usapan natin itong issue. Ano ba ang mga issue na ating pag-uusapan ngayon? Ang una nating ipapakita na video itong patungkol dito kay former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte dito sa The Hague, Netherlands. Ay may bago na naman na interview itong defense team o itong attorney ni Tatay Digong na si Attorney Kaufman. Okay, in-interview siya I think kuha itong video na ito sa page ni Alvin. Okay, vlogger rin, no? Vlogger na DDS vlogger sa The Hague. Okay, so meron siyang mga doon meron siyang mga tanong na yun yung mga latest issues, especially itong mga kalaban ni Tatay Digong na si Attorney Conte, no? Yung Conte lang yung utak. Yun rin ang tinanong ni Alvin, tong vlogger na ito kay Kaufman, at sinagot na nga nito ni Kaufman. Mamaya, ipapakita ko yan ng buong buo at i-explain natin, mag-react tayo sa sagot ni Kaufman, okay? Ito, pangalawa nating pag-uusapan ay merong naganap na interview kay Attorney Topacio regarding on the issue about Senator Riza Hontiveros na nag-file na nga ng mga complaint dito sa bumaliktad na witness na si Michael o alias Rene at ilan na mga DDS vloggers na kasali rin sa complaint, particularly itong anong tawag dito, cyber libel complaint. Okay, so si Topacio naman ay maganda yung kanyang explanation sa mga tanong at ang tanong dito, bakit itong si Senator Riza Hontiveros hindi niya sinali itong si Attorney Topacio sa kanyang complaint? Bakit mga vloggers lamang? Marami nga ang mga nagsasabi na mga vloggers na nung mga kasali sa kinasuhan, ang kaya nyo lang yung mga vloggers, ang kaya nyong kasuhan, ang kaya nyong i-complain, itong mga vloggers lang. Pero hindi nyo kaya itong mga malalaking tao kagaya ni na Attorney Topacio. Okay? So yan po ang argumento ng ilang mga vloggers natin. Okay? So yan po, lahat ng yan ay i-explain yan ni Attorney Topacio mamaya sa ating video. Pero bago ang lahat guys, no? Help me po muna na i-like at saka i-share itong video na ito para guys kakalat ito sa taong bayan. Okay? O, sabay-sabay muna tayong mag-like and share sa Donmar TV. Itong video na ito, like and share. 1, 2, 3, go! Okay, naka-like and share na ba lahat? And also guys, sa mga bago pa lang dito sa aking channel, mag-subscribe na po kayo para lagi kayong updated sa ating mga balita. And at the same time, yung mga cellphone ninyo, ma-notify yan kung meron tayong breaking news, bagong uploads, o kung nagla-live ang ating channel. Ma-notify kayo lahat dyan. Kaya mahalaga po na mag-subscribe tayo sa Donmar TV. 1, 2, 3, go! Ayan, nakasubscribe na ba lahat? Okay, so, ayan na nga. Sobrang init yung kape ko, guys. By the way, guys, kape-kape tayo sa umaga, no? Ang sarap ng magbalita tayo, nag-vlog tayo, nag-react tayo na may kasamang kape. Ayan, kape-kape tayo. Ayan, no? Ito pala yung gift ng aking wife at yung aking anak. Best dad in the world, di ba? Best dad in the world. This is just a simple gift, no? Pero it touches my heart, di ba? To the best dad in the world, di ba? Baso lang ito pero yung mensahe yung importante. Okay, so unahin muna natin itong kay Kaufman. Ito. Ayan. Unahin muna natin ito at from time to time pakinggan natin itong mga sagot niya dito sa mga latest issue patungkol kay former President Duterte at magre-react po tayo dito. Okay, play. Attorney Kaufman, pasok.
Attorney Kaufman, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm perfectly well. And so is the former president, who's in good spirits.
How's our former president, Attorney?
As I told you, he's in good spirits. I've just come out from a legal visit with him here at the prison.
Attorney, my first question is that what's the effect of the report by Senator Marcos not being publicly available on the Senate website, given that it was referenced in your motion to challenge with respect to jurisdiction of the ICC? What is your comment on this?
Well, I believe that the report has now been restored to the official website. I'm not going to get
Kasi ito ang nangyari, kinalkal ni Attorney Kaufman sa website ng Senate of the Philippines. Yung patungkol sa hearing nung nangyaring o yung naganap na pag-aresto kay Tatay Digong doon sa yung sa airport, no? Tapos isinakay nila sa eroplano, tapos ang daming nangyari na mga illegal na ginawa ng administrasyon natin. Tapos yung hearing na yon, lahat-lahat nakasulat yung lahat kung ano yung mga naganap, natuklasan ni Senator Amy Marcos noong hinanap ni Attorney Kaufman doon sa website ng Senate, kasi accessible yan di ba? Kagaya ng tayo, mag-research tayo, punta kayo sa website ng ICC. Makikita doon ang series of events. Meron doon mga documentation, no? Mga files about patungkol sa kaso, no? Information sa kaso po ni FPRRD dito sa reklamong crime against humanity. So, pagkatapos ng hearing din sa Senado, no? Dito kay Senator Amy, yung investigation niya, ilalagay rin yan sa website ng Senado. Okay? Pero ang natuklasan ni Kaufman, hindi available. Kasi sometimes, itong mga attorney na ito, pagbabasihan nila yan may makuha silang information sa nangyaring hearing sa Pilipinas doon sa kay Senator Amy. Okay? Pero hindi available. Bakit? Yan ang tanong ni Kaufman. Pero ang sabi niya ngayon, on the latest statement niya ay available na raw. Okay? Available na raw. So, atin po yung i-check mamaya, no, pagkatapos ng vlog natin kung talagang available na ba yung nangyaring hearing sa Senado. Okay, patuloy.
Into the legal arguments, as you may be aware, the prosecution have argued that Mr. Duterte is a flight risk, and they based that inter alia on the argument that he has expressed through his counsel that his surrender to the court was essentially an illegal rendition. We believe that the report counters that. We believe that raising an argument as to the legality of the surrender is a legitimate legal argument. But once again, I'm not going to get into the nitty-gritty of it. This is litigation, and litigation should be conducted in court.
Yes. Thank you, Attorney. In light of the Department of Justice Secretary Remulla's recent admission that key evidence in the drug war cases was allegedly destroyed.
Oo nga itong si Boying Remulla, di ba? Itong si Boying Rimulya, nagpalabas ng statement ang DOJ na sinunog raw itong mga ebidensya ng dating administrasyon, which is yung administrasyon ni Duterte. Tinanong ngayon si Kaufman, anong mako-comment nyo sir na sinabi ni Rimulya na lahat ng ebidensya ni Duterte nung war on drugs ay itinapon o sinunog raw? Which is very impossible. Ito sila ha, naninira na naman kay Tatay Digong. I believe so. That is my own opinion ha. Bakit naman sisirain yung ebidensya? Di ba? Imposible yan. Because lahat ng mga nangyaring yung war on drugs ni Tatay Digong, lahat yun ay documented. No? Local man yun, no? Yung mga kapulisan natin, local, regional, documented yun lahat. Paano naging sinunog yan? Kung isinunog yan, malalaman talaga yan. Di ba? Malalaman yan. Na, ito yung mga nagurgur na mga jadik na yan. I-documented yan lahat. Hindi yan pwedeng sunugin. Imposible yan. Ang sarap kang sabihan kay Rimulya. Oo nga, Rimulya, ipaliwanag mo paano yan na sinunog yung mga ebidensya na yan. Ito yung sagot ni Kaufman dito. Play.
And the subsequent decision to cede jurisdiction to the ICC. What is your comment on this?
Well, that's Secretary of Justice Rimulya's claims.
Claim yan ni Rimulya ha. Si Rimulya ang nagsabi niyan. Siguro naman, Rimulya, gawa-gawa mo na yan ha. Anong sinabi?
Once again, I'm not going to get into the truth or falsity of that. What I do know is that my client, Mr. Duterte, had nothing to do with destroying any evidence.
Destroying evidence ha. Kung sinunog ba yan, tinapon ba yan?
Destroying evidence is a criminal offense.
Sabi niya, ang pagsunog, ang pag-destroy ng isang ebidensya is a criminal offense. So kung meron mang mga tauhan si Tatay Digong sa panahon ng kanyang administrasyon na gumawa para kay Duterte na lahat ng ebidensya ng war on drugs ay sunugin, i-destroy, itapon, that is a criminal offense. And itong si Kaufman, hindi siya naniniwala na gagawin yun ni Tatay Digong. Imposible yun. Kasi, matutuklasan talaga yan. Kapag, wala namang pulis na nagsabi na sinunog yung mga ebidensya. Ang daming mga nagdaan na mga chief PNP. Hindi sana sinabi nila, di ba? Wala.
It was not done, and it was not done at his request on behalf of him. Let me make that very clear.
Sir, attorney, given that claim no available evidence exists and it is allegedly destroyed.
Kasi sa totoo lang, wala silang makalap na ebidensya ngayon eh. Itong mga nagrereklamo kay Tatay Digong, itong mga kalaban ni Tatay Digong, wala silang makalap na ebidensya. Yan ang ikinatakot nila. Kaya sabi ko nga, malabo na matalo si Tatay Digong sa kaso na ito. Mananalo si Tatay Digong dito.
To prosecute former President Duterte domestically, what evidence will the ICC rely on to pursue the case?
That's Secretary Justice Rimulya's claim that evidence was destroyed. I don't believe it. He might believe it. But I'm telling you,
ang tanong ko kay Rimulya, saan kaya mo nakalap yung impormasyon na yan na dinestroy yung mga ebidensya? Ni Conte na naman. Si Conte, bida-bida naman yan si Conte eh. Oo nga, Rimulya, let the people know kung saan mo nakuha yung impormasyon na yan na you dinestroy raw ng kampo ni Duterte yung mga ebidensya na yan. Kasi kung hindi yan totoo, paninira na naman kay Tatay Digong.
it's not true, and it was not
It's not true.
done. Now, regarding the evidence that's going to be brought by the ICC prosecution, I'm not at liberty to disclose that. It's all confidential, and it would be wrong for me to disclose that to the media.
Actually, itong mga attorney, mga lawyer na ito, hindi every time na nagpapa-interview sila sa media, hindi naman nila isisiwalat yan lahat eh. Okay? Kasi po, meron po silang tinatawag nating tinatago na baraha para pagdating doon sa actual na hearing ay doon muna nila yung kasi ano yan eh, it's a battle of lawyers. Kung lahat ng mga impormasyon ay i-share mo sa media, eh yung kalaban ni Tatay Digong, makapaghanda sila kung papaano nila gumawa ng strategy na that the prosecutors, no? Kasi mag-judge yan. Tama. Kasi napagtakpan niyo na yung mga sinasabi nyo, sinasabi ng kalaban, gumawa kayo ng strategy ninyo na yun rin yung argumento nyo doon. Ganon yan eh. So ayaw niyang ma-booking yung mga some of the important mga matters when it comes to legal matters.
Attorney, do you think that is a legitimate concern or politically motivated?
I don't understand the question. What do you believe is politically motivated?
I believe so, politically motivated yan eh. Alam naman natin si Remulla. Kaalyado yan na ni Bongbong Marcos, di ba? Bongbong Marcos at Tatay Digong kaaway sila.
Destroying evidence may obstruct justice or perhaps sort of cover-up. Do you think that is a legitimate concern or politically motivated?
Former president did not destroy any evidence. No one on his behalf destroyed evidence. I'm not going to get into the argument as who destroyed evidence, but destroying evidence is a criminal offence. My client did not commit criminal offences. He's here facing charges that he did commit criminal offences, that he was responsible for an illegal drugs war. That is not the case.
Isa pa dyan, ang argumento dyan, paano i-destroy ng kampo ng mga Duterte yung mga ebidensya na yan na wala na silang hawak sa administrasyon ngayon? Tas nakakulong pa si Tatay Digong. Tas hawak pa ni Bongbong Marcos ang administrasyon ngayon. Paano nila masusunugin yung ebidensya na yan? Ang layo niyan eh.
Thank you, Attorney. Attorney Cristina Conte warned that any country agreeing to adopt former President Duterte for interim release risk being seen as a safe haven for a despot, for a murderer. What is your comment on this?
Well, I try to ignore the ramblings of Cristina Conte because it's really not quite good for my karma in the morning. But I don't know what position that lady has. She calls herself a legal assistant to counsel.
Sunog si Conte dito sa sasabihin ni Kaufman.
That she's on the list of counsel at the International Criminal Court. I know that she's in communication with the office.
Ang tawag natin dyan kay Conte, bida-bida. Yan ang right word kay Conte, bida-bida. Yun bang nakisawsaw sa issue ba? Na wala naman siyang, anong posisyon mo, Conte? Di ba? Nakisawsaw ka lang sa one of these days, maiirita ang ICC sa kanya, sa totoo lang. Naiirita na nga siya eh.
The victims at the International Criminal Court. I believe that her comments, if they're true, I haven't seen them in the media yet,
Correct.
Would be basically interference, and it would be unethical interference with the litigation that's currently being conducted on the subject of interim release.
Attorney, in light of the court's decision to dismiss your request to disqualify Judges Ganso and Flores, do you intend to pursue a motion for reconsideration to that?
No, I'm not going to. As I've said yesterday, that there has been new information which has come to light. I can't disclose that information, but it does affect the whether or not I would want to seek reconsideration of the request to disqualify. I don't believe there's a need for that anymore.
Okay. Attorney, I hope this will be able to answer this question. Can you walk us through some sort of a daily activities inside the detention facility of our former president now that he's been here for 113 days?
Well, his days are occupied by legal visits and family visits. That's all I can say on the matter.
Attorney, a resolution has been filed urging the House of Representatives to oppose efforts to grant interim release and repatriation of former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte. Will this have any impact on your request for interim release?
I don't want to comment on politics. I'm a lawyer. I deal with legal matters.
Attorney, the DOJ has offered protection and assistance to witnesses in the case against former President Duterte. This seems to be in contradiction to President Marcos' earlier statement that Philippines would not assist in any way. Malacanang now says that it isn't direct cooperation with the ICC. Do you agree?
Once again, that seems to be touching on politics.
Basta usaping po pamumulitika, ayaw ni Kaufman. He is an attorney. Ang pag-usapan natin, yung legal matters tungkol sa aking client.
If witnesses come to court and they've been paid to come to court, then we will establish that when we cross-examine them.
Does our former president have any message to the Filipino people?
Respect the judicial process.
Di ba? Respect the judicial process. Hoy, konti, respect the judicial process. Isa bagay, wala kayong respeto.
This is consistent message. Unfortunately, it seems that from some of the comments that you've been presenting me today by supposed counsel or legal assistance at the International Criminal Court, there is some form of non-respect for the judicial process, especially if comments are being made that countries offering Mr. Duterte interim release are basically offering a safe haven for despots.
Attorney, just to wrap this up, do you have any message to the Filipino people aside with what they have established respecting the judicial process?
Once again, respect the judicial process, respect the judges. We are confident and we're working towards bringing the former president home.
Thank you, Attorney.
Okay, so yun po ha. Ako na mismo ang magsabi sa inyo dito sa Donmar TV. Ang panawagan po sa legal team ni Tatay Digong, especially itong si Attorney Kaufman, ay irespeto po natin ang ICC. Irespeto po natin ang judicial process at irespeto po natin ang mga judges. Huwag nating pangunahan na kung ano-anong mga pamumulitikang istorya. Hintay lang tayo. Let's trust the judicial process. Yan ang panawagan po ng attorney ni Tatay Digong. At gagawin natin yan ha. So, yun po ang mensahe at latest update ni Attorney Kaufman sa kaso ni Tatay Digong. Okay? Okay. Ngayon, this time pupunta tayo dito sa next nating topic. Itong si Attorney Topacio, bakit hindi ito sinali ni Senator Hontiveros sa kanyang complaint? Takot ba si Hontiveros kay Attorney Topacio? Topacio, pasok!
Get on point with one of the legal counsels of Kibuloy, Attorney Ferdinand Topacio. Attorney Topacio, thank you so much for your time. Good to see you. Welcome
Yes,
to the program.
always good to see the most beautiful woman on air.
Thank you, sir. All right, umpisahan na po natin dito kay Michael Murillo. I know you know the story. So,
Yes.
he claims now that the Senator Risa Hontiveros, paid him $1 million pesos basically to speak ill of the KOJC leader. What are your thoughts on this?
I do not know Mr. Murillo. I think he's the one who goes by the moniker alias Rene, if I'm not mistaken. But if he is saying that, it would not be the first time that there would be an accusation of witness tampering and subornation of perjury against Senator Risa Hontiveros. Because I personally know of 2 incidents wherein the same manner of accusation was made against Senator Hontiveros.
So, ibig sabihin nito, Pasyo, dito ha, kilala nila ang mga galawan ni Hontiveros. Di ba sinabi na yan ni, yung dating congressman sa Negros Oriental, na may pattern ang mga style nitong si Hontiveros. Sabi nito ng dating congressman ng Negros Oriental.
Tell us more about that.
I think Jing Paras, who was a guest in
Yes,
one
Congressman Jing Paras.
of your shows here, gave a gist of what happened. This was during the time of the controversy surrounding Kian de los Santos, who was killed by the police in a supposed rob-out. And while I believe that the policemen involved there were rightfully punished for their crime, still it does not detract from the fact that with respect to certain witnesses who were of minor age at the time, Senator Hontiveros intervened by getting them from the custody of their lawful parents and bringing them somewhere else. As a result of which, the father of one of those children approached us in the Volunteers Against Crime and Corruption under
Actually, this is a big revelation ha, itong statement ngayon ni Topacio. Ontiveros, dapat kang makinig dito kay Topacio ngayon, no? At pwede mong sampahan ng cyber libel itong si Topacio ngayon if you think na itong mga ibinabato ni Topacio ngayon sa inyo ay gawa-gawa lang o paninira lang. Okay? And I think so, yung mga legal team ni Hontiveros ay nakikinig dito ngayon kay Topacio. Bakit mga vloggers lang ang kinasuhan nyo? Bakit hindi nyo kaya itong si Topacio ngayon?
and Dante Jimenez. And Dante Jimenez assigned me as the chief legal counsel at the time of the VACC, and former Congressman Jing Paras, who is one of our volunteer lawyers, to take care of the problem, and we brought the matter to the attention of the CIDG. And the CIDG, after investigating it, sent operatives to the Senate to talk to Senator Risa Ontiveros. At the time, her staff said that she was not in, although Senate security confided to us that she was in her office. And the second would be with respect to the Farmally case, where a certain Mark Claret
Ibang naman ito, issue ha, Farmally na naman. Iniisa-isa ni Topacio yung pattern ni Hontiveros ha. Ito, Farmally issue na naman kay Hontiveros.
said on video, on record, that he was bribed by Senator Ontiveros with electric bikes and certain amounts of money to testify falsely against executives of Farmally. And we still have the sworn statement of that person. We still have his video. And as a result of these two incidents, a case for kidnapping and an ombudsman case was filed against Senator Risa Ontiveros. So probably...
And what is the status of that?
We have not been informed of the status, but if Senator Ontiveros has filed the case, maybe it was because of her experience with these two cases that she decided to preempt the filing of cases against her by filing her own case.
So does that mean to say that you believe this Michael Maurilio?
I reserve my judgment. However, there are 2 points that I wish to raise. Number one, these allegations are serious and deserve the investigation not only of the police authorities, the NBI, but the Senate itself by its ethics committee, because as I've said, this is not the first time that Senator Risa Ontiveros was accused of these things. Number two, Risa Ontiveros, being a public official, should not be, well, to use the shop-worn phrase, she should not be onion-skinned, because a public official, by entering public service, holds herself out to a higher standard of conduct.
Correct.
And should expect the public to scrutinize her behavior. That's why
Ang ginawa niya, kinasuhan niya ng cyber libel itong mga vloggers, di ba? Doon siya mali eh. Doon siya sobrang mali itong si Hontiveros.
with respect to libel and cyber libel, the usual presumption of malice does not apply when you're a public official. Instead, it is the public official who must prove malice on the part of the person alleged to have libeled her in order to secure a conviction.
Does it mean, attorney, that what the senator did the other day, going to the NBI, and basically, to be very clear about it, is to initiate the investigation and the prosecution of the persons responsible for the creation and management of this Pagtanggol Valiente, as well as Michael Maurilio and others? Do you think that was being onion-skinned of her? Because I do recall when she was...
Ay, balat sibuyas talaga si Hontiveros. Sa tingin ko, ako ha, in my own opinion, napikon siya. Pikon na pikon siya. Kasi nung pumutok itong si Michael alias Rene, pinagpiestahan ng mga vloggers kaagad. No? Pinost, shinare, nag-comment ang mga vloggers, nag-react ang mga vloggers na, Hontiveros, humarap ka dito. O ano ngayon, Hontiveros? Doon siya napikon. Doon siya naging onion skin, sa totoo lang. Di ba?
being interviewed by the media, she says that, this is part of her job, mangyayari siguro yung mga ganitong klase. Pero yung pwede, you can call her out on certain things, basically rewording it. But when you lie or when you tamper with the witnesses, that's a different story and that's something na hindi niya palalampasin.
That's what I said during my TikTok interview earlier. She is well within her rights.
Okay.
However, she must expect that because I do not believe that one person, as I've said, I'm reserving my judgment on this alias Rene. But I do not believe such a person or the other persons who previously made allegations against her would have the courage to make baseless allegations considering how powerful and influential Ms. Ontiveros is. So I think instead of investigating at whether there was a lying here or whatever, the investigation should cover everything. The NBI should investigate not only whether or not this witness was lying, but whether or not there is truth to his allegations in order to make it fair.
Both sides.
Yes, both sides.
All right. Do you...
Kasi kung ang NBI, ang pagtuunan nila ng pansin ay yung reklamo lang ni Hontiveros, this is unfair, di ba? So dapat yung NBI rin, imbestigahan nyo itong si Michael alias Rene. Kung meron bang katotohanan ang lahat ng kanyang pinagsasabi. Kasi kung merong katotohanan ng lahat ng mga pinagsasabi nitong bumaliktad na witness na itong si Michael alias Rene, may problema tayo dito kay Hontiveros na isang government official at senadora ng Pilipinas. The NBI should see this or handle this fairly and squarely. Diba? Tama itong si Atty. Topacio.
think you were saying a while ago that this is a serious matter. Before we go to what you were saying, that there should be an ethics complaint filed against her regarding this. It's serious because meron pong witness na nagsabing may problema ang KOJC, na kinawawa siya, naabuso siya, etc. And then, bumaliktad at sinabi na pinilit lang siya ng supposed to be ni Senator Risa na sabihin ito. But with regards to Senator Risa Hontiveros' defense when she was talking to media, kasi nakita yung parang pagkadismaya at galit niya. Meron ho kasi siya, attorney, ng mga resibo. In fact, her office had shown that this man, this individual, supposedly emailed them back in 2023. He left KOJC around 2021, the year 2021. They did not respond immediately, to which Michael Maurilio had reached out to them 2 more times. And then he even asked at some point for a laptop dahil para daw magkaroon siya ng trabaho, to which the senator's office said they don't really give out such monetary or even laptops for that matter, kasi ayaw niyang magkaroon ng misconception doon sa kung magbigay man ng laptop or kahit na anong tulong dito sa witness. Let's just stop there first because there are more. Yun pa lang, what do you think about that? Because from a laptop na ayaw ibigay ng office ni Senator Risa to him being paid 1 million pesos, supposedly.
As I said, judgment has to be reserved on that. But that is why I'm calling on the NBI to investigate not only from the point of view of Senator Ontiveros that this person is lying, but from the point of view of the person as to whether or not there was pecuniary exchanges made in exchange for his...
Actually, tama si Topacio. Pero ang ikinatatakot ko dito, kung ang NBI, papabor na naman yan kay Hontiveros, kasi alam naman natin, itong issue na ito, it involves a lot of politics. Hindi natin alam. Ito hindi ko sinabi na nangyari ito. Ang posible kasing mangyari dito, baka meron na naman na magdikta dito sa NBI. Hindi ko sinabing sino Baka meron na namang magdidikta sa NBI na tulungan nyo yan si Hontiveros. Tulungan nyo yan. Gawin nyo ito. ipalabas nyo na magmukhang sinungaling itong si Michael alias Rene. O, imbestigahan nyo, ganun, ganyan. Yan ang delikado. Yan ang ikinatakot ko. Diba? Kasi po, itong si Hontiveros, gagamitin na naman ito si Hontiveros bilang pamumulitika. Ha? Pwede ha, pwedeng mangyari ito ha. Example lang ito ha. Baka sasabihin yung ano tayo ha, gumagawa tayo ng paninira ha. Example lang ito, example. Dahil itong si Bongbong Marcos ngayon ay kalaban ng kampo ng mga Duterte at dito kay Kibuloy, pwedeng diktahan. Example, didiktahan ni Ma'am Shi, okay? Si Ma'am Shi Bongbong. Ganun na naman si Ma'am Shi. Sabihin nyo sa NBI, Bongbong, ha? Bongbong, sabihin nyo sa NBI, natulungan si Hontiveros, blah, 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 because it favors them. Okay? Anong ibig kong sabihin? Gagamitin ni Bongbong Marcos at ni Ma'am Shi, example lang ito, hindi ito nangyari actually. Gagamitin nila si Hontiveros na magmukhang tinamper, okay? Ng how do I say that? Na mukhang bumaliktad ang isang witness kasi binayaran ng mga Duterte di umano o ganyan-ganyan. Pwedeng ganun ang mangyari. Pero hindi yan nangyari ha. O, yan ang ikinatakot ko na mangyari. Kasi sasabihin ni Topacio, dapat ang NBI equal, fair and square yung pananaw nila kay Hontiveros at dito sa witness na ito. Pero hindi pa rin safe. Kasi pwedeng madiktahan ang NBI sa totoo lang. Okay? O, yun ang point ko dyan. Pero I hope not na hindi ito mangyari. I hope not.
Testimony. Because that is also allegations. There were also allegations made against Senator Hontiveros in law that proves a pattern. So that is part of a pattern of events that strengthens the possibility that a present action was done on the basis of previous actions. And that is admissible in court, actually.
Okay. Attorney, but when you look at the series of events that supposed to be happened, there was also in February 2024, this individual said he was being convinced, allegedly, by some acquaintances in the KOJC to recant his previous testimony. And then in June 2022 and 2025, he messaged supposedly that he was abducted. Kinidnap ako at tinatakot ako. Dito ako kinulong sa Glory Mountain. Help me please. To which the office of the senator forwarded this to PNP Davao. And then the video. I know that, I guess what I'm trying to understand here or try to get from you is, while you're saying there could be a pattern because there were previous supposed to be incidents, when you hear something like this na merong resibo at may maipapakita po, does that show that the witness is not believable or not credible?
These are matters that are addressed to the investigator. We have to take the overall context of these things because, remember, witnesses recant all the time. In the case of Senator De Lima, the witnesses recanted. There were documents that point to the fact before that the first testimonies pointing to Senator De Lima as the person behind the so-called Bilibid drug trade, these testimonies seem to have been given voluntarily. But later on, they recanted and the court believed the recantation. So, I'm not saying the recantation of alias Rene is believable or not. All I'm saying is that based on previous pattern and based on the surrounding circumstances, there may be more to this that meets the eye. All I'm saying is that I am interested in the truth of this.
Correct.
And now, with respect to the ethics complaint, there is something wrong not only because there is this recantation, but because money may have changed hands with respect to testimony. That is why, if I recall correctly, Secretary Vitaliano Aguirre also filed an ethics complaint against Senator Ontiveros for violating the Anti-Wiretapping Act. And this case, this violation of the Anti-Wiretapping Act is still pending, if I'm not mistaken, before the Pasay City RTC. So there is this pattern that, as I was saying, deserves more serious consideration and a much closer look.
So, with regards to this ethics complaint, who do you think should file it?
Any senator may file, actually any private citizen may file, or any person affected by the testimony. Remember that I filed an ethics complaint against then Congressman Dan Fernandez for violating the rights of my client and for trying to embarrass me in front of media and that August chamber. So any person affected may file before the committee.
But because
Pero ako I believe one of these days, no, hindi malayo, merong mag-file ng ethics complaint laban dito kay Hontiveros.
you're one of the lawyers of Apollo Quiboloy, Pastor Apollo Quiboloy, do you think that your group, your team, or somebody from your team should file an ethics complaint?
I have suggested as much to the team, but of course, our team leader is Attorney Torreon, and I will leave it up to him. I leave it to his sound discretion.
How important is it for your group or your team to reach out, or has anyone reached out to this Michael Maurilio?
Not, as far as I know, none of us. It appears to have been spontaneous, but of course, if someone who recants.
Pero para sa akin, no, yung ethics complaint na yan, malaki rin ito eh. Hindi basta-basta tayo na akusahan si Hontiveros na tinamper o talagang ginawang gumawa ng witness o testigo si Hontiveros. Malaki kasi yan eh, no? Kasi pwedeng abusuhin, no? Na merong witness, tapos babaliktad yung witness, tapos i-file ng ethics complaint ng isang senadora o senador, di ba? So this has to be studied well bago mag-file ng ethics complaint. Ito lang yung sa akin ha. Bago siguro itong kampo ng nila Quiboloy, especially ang sabi pa nga nito Pasio, ang leader nila dito sa legal team ni Quiboloy ay si Attorney Torreon. Sa ngayon, sa tingin ko, itong si Torreon, pinag-aralan na nila ito. Kung sila ba ay mag-file ng ethics complaint. Kasi sa tingin ko, ang mga abogado ni Quiboloy ay i-investigate nila o they will get more information dito kay Michael. Kukuha sila ng ebidensya through Michael alias Rene. Kung makakuha sila ng ebidensya na malaki na nagpapatunay na gawa-gawa ito ni Hontiveros, ay pwedeng masampahan ng ethics complaint ngayon si Hontiveros. Ganon po ang aking analysis dyan.
I mean, let us be candid here. If there is a witness who is doing an act that is favorable to your client, it is natural to extend help and assistance to that particular witness.
Of course. Hence the question, has anyone reached out?
Well, from my point of view, from where I'm sitting, I have no knowledge, but I would not be surprised, of course. It would be the natural thing to do for a lawyer.
All right. And you are also the lawyer of former Congressman Arnulfo Teves, and recently you were given this new job. You are the spokesperson for the PDP Laban?
Okay, so hindi na yan usapin patungkol siguro kay Hontiveros. So yun po ha. Yun po ang official statement ni Attorney Topacio regarding on the issue na ginawa ngayon ni Hontiveros na nag-file ng complaint dito sa witness na bumaliktad at dito sa mga others na mga vloggers na inireklamo rin. Okay, so si Topacio po ang tanong ngayon, bakit hindi ito sinali ni Hontiveros? Hontiveros, kung ikaw ay totoo sa inyong mga reklamo, ito lang yung sa aking official statement rin sa akin na aking analysis. If ikaw po ay talagang natamaan na ikaw ay biktima ng sinisiraan ka ng mga vloggers, bakit hindi mo sinali itong si Attorney Topacio? Kasi sa programa ni Attorney Topacio, grabe rin yung mga opinion ni Topacio. No, mas grabe pa nga yung opinion ni Topacio compared to the vloggers. Pero hindi po naninira si Topacio, I believe. Okay? Pero bakit mga vloggers lang? Is that, shall we say, na ang kaya mo lang is yung mga maliliit? Dahil alam mo na itong mga vloggers na ito ay kaya mong patahimikin. Diba? You try to think about it. So kayo mga audience ko dito sa Donmar TV, libre kayong mag-comment, mag-react sa inyong opinion at usap-usap tayo sa comment section. Okay? Guys, like and share this video para marami po ang makakita. And subscribe na rin sa mga bago pa lang dito. Okay? Subscribe na. Libre ang subscription, guys. Wala yang bayad. Subscribe na, Okay? So, thank you very much, At ayan, patuloy tayong nagkakape, no? Magkape rin kayo diyan, no? Good morning sa lahat, no? See you in my next video. Have a great day. Have a great night. God bless sa inyong lahat. And may God save the Philippines. Bye-bye.